For pretty much my whole life, I've been involved in hockey. From minor and junior hockey, officiating, heck, I even drove a Zamboni and made ice for a few years. And I still play the game to this day. I worked video production for Hockey Canada for a few years, including the 2010 Vancouver Olympics, and then was manager of video production for the Edmonton Oilers for 5 seasons. When I helped document the construction of Rogers Place in Edmonton, I developed a fascination on how these buildings come together. I've visited 34 NHL rinks, and after my time in the NHL, I decided to start this YouTube channel to share with you all that I've learned about them. Who knows, you may just learn something new before you head to your next hockey game. I'm Jeff Nash, and this is Rinks Around the League. Hey everyone, welcome to this very special episode of Rinks Around the League, Playoff Edition, Round 2, the Battle of Alberta. That's right, it's been 31 years since Calgary and Edmonton went head-to-head in the playoffs, and crazy enough as it is, I was in grade 6 when that happened. It's a great time to be a hockey fan here in Alberta. It's going to be an amazing experience for both cities and both teams. All right, I'm here on location in Calgary, and I thought I'd profile both watch party areas for Calgary and in Edmonton for fans who can't afford or can't get tickets to watch the game inside the arenas and to be able to soak up the atmosphere as much as they can. Let's go down and check out the red lot. So I'm standing here in the red lot, which is the Flames watch party viewing area, and it's, I would say, a little bit larger than the Edmonton's Ice District space. The large screen that they have over here to show the games, obviously, is I would say a little bit smaller than the one in Ice District. But you know, if you just look at the footage from when Johnny Gaudreau scored the Game 7 winner, this place must have been absolutely insane. Now, the one advantage for Calgary is they actually have, I would assume, this whole lot. So, because this is the grounds of the Stampede, because they're used to having massive events down here, they actually have a lot of this area here, this parking lot here, to kind of expand this. So I guess on one hand, the physical space is not a problem with the Flames organization. This is a ticketed event, so you have to get a ticket in order to come down here and get on the grounds. And I believe they've capped that at about 5,000. So you could see and tell that if they wanted to expand this, they could actually double, triple the amount of fans down here. They just need to kind of increase the area that you could have fans down here. And as long as they're selling tickets, now tickets are free, by the way. You just have to go, I'll include a link down below. But tickets are free. You just got to get one, which is actually a smart way to kind of control the crowd. Because you do and will probably have a massive amount of people showing up that want to be a part of it, and it's just kind of one way to kind of limit, if you don't have a ticket, you can't get in. So able to kind of limit the amount of people that comes into this. But they have porta potties down here. They've got beer gardens. Looks like they have a Pizza 73 food truck. And they have the team store, which is kind of an interesting. They have their own little team store trailer in the back, and a stage for the band, much like they have in Ice District. So, anyways, and it's right outside the Saddle Dome, so it's kind of a cool setup. And yeah, I bet you this place is pretty darn loud when the games are on. Another thing worth noting is that they're expanding this area and they're building a new convention center. They've done all this demolition to make way for the new event center and the new arena for the Flames. Now, obviously, that deal's on hold. The actual arena, the space for it, is actually on the other side of the Saddle Dome, just to the north. But a lot of construction, a lot of activity down here for the new event center that they're well on their way to constructing. So there's a lot of action happening down here on site. Now, in terms of getting here, I would assume the C train, which is a stop just behind the Big 4 building here, it's probably your best bet. But obviously, with the capacity of the Saddle Dome, which is just shy of 20,000, and the capacity of here, which I could see if they make it past the round with the Battle of Alberta, we can expand for another 10, 15,000 people. Obviously, mass transit is going to be just slammed, but obviously parking is not going to be ideal either, because it's going to be pretty crazy down here. But probably pretty loud and a pretty exciting spot to be in the city. All right, this is Calgary. Let's head up to Edmonton and check out the Ice District. All right, now we're here in Edmonton at Ice District and the For Tailgate Party area. Now, the size of the area here is kind of similar to what Calgary is, what they have, but obviously the huge noticeable difference is just the scope and the surroundings. You know, you're not in a parking lot in the Stampede grounds. You're actually in right smack dab downtown in Edmonton. And I'm pretty sure this is what Daryl Cates envisioned when he built Ice District and Rogers Place. And it's kind of come full circle now. Now that this area just basically been completed, it looks brand new, brand shiny spanking new. This is where the fans will gather for the watch party. They actually show the game up on the screen up on the tip of Rogers Place there. The full screen is actually a little bit smaller than the physical size there. They have like a border for advertising around the outside, but they do have these monitors surrounding Ice District for people to watch the games and from every single direction. They have these balconies, which doesn't look like they're in use as much at all. And then you also have the JW Marriott here. They have a little outdoor patio for people to kind of sit and watch the game. But ultimately, this is where the action is. I was here for game 2 of round 1 versus the Kings, and their capacity at that time was about 2,000 people. Now, if you look at game 7 capacity, yeah, it looked a little bit more than 2,000, but I think they're working on ways to kind of limit the amount of people here so it doesn't get overcrowded, because it's not an overall large space. It is a fairly tight space, but if you can get in here, it's a pretty cool experience. At the time of this taping of this video, the day before game 1 of round 2, our story out that the city of Edmonton was actually going to open up Winston Churchill Square right downtown, which is just a couple of blocks over to the east, and they were going to set up some screens for some watch party, probably for a little bit more family-friendly venue. At the time of this taping, there's no tickets needed to get down here. You just got to wait in line and hope to get in before they reach capacity. Now, one thing I noticed in Calgary is they actually had picnic tables out. The area was maybe a little bit bigger than the one here in Edmonton, but they actually had picnic tables, which is kind of a nice touch for people who don't want to, stand for the whole game, especially if it goes into triple overtime. People might get a little tired. But here, Rogers Place, or Ice District, I should say, they actually have these kind of bench seating areas that kind of go around the border of the rinks, or of the area. So there are places to sit, but generally speaking, you're going to be standing the whole time. So just be prepared for that. So this is where Ice District is, and one of the cool features of Rogers Place and Ice District is that one of the entrances right into Rogers Place and into Fort Hall actually goes into Ice District. So we're going to go inside, and I'm going to show you Fort Hall, which is another place to catch the game and watch. They have screens inside, so let's go check it out. All right, so now we're inside Fort Hall, which is kind of a covered pedway that crosses one of the main drags here in Edmonton. But up here, they call this the whale tail. It's this kind of really cool looking screen. They actually will show the game up on there. And over here is Molson Hockey House. So if you want to be able to have a few beverages before going into the game, you can actually go to the Molson Hockey House here. And I'm not sure, I'm not 100%, but last playoffs in 2017, they actually had a lot of the fans in here. They had a DJ over there. They had a lot of fans on here. And the fans would jump so much in unison, they would actually literally shake the entire building. We used to shoot a post-game show up in the media boxes up on the opposite end of Rogers Place, and it literally shook our lights, just the amount of people jumping in Fort Hall. So I don't know if they're allowing them to do that this year, but that was one of those stories from the playoffs, the last round. Now, one thing, if you do manage to get to Molson Hockey House, is they actually have the derrick from the Rexall Place. That's the actual original derrick that they used to have in Rexall Place. They finally brought it in. So a little bit of Oilers history. If you wind up coming to the game, that's where you'll find it. at the entrance of Molson Hockey House. So anyways, so there's a couple spots here in Edmonton. Obviously with a brand new rink and a brand new setup, it's maybe a little bit better than the one in Calgary. But the one thing that Calgary does have is probably the ability to expand, to increase the capacity, where here in Ice District and in Fort Hall, you're kind of limited on whatever it is right now that is capped at. So anyways, this is Edmonton. Let's head back to Calgary and wrap things up. All right, Oilers and Flames fans, let's get ready to rock. This is gonna be an amazing series to watch. I'm so excited to see this happen. Let's go. Enjoy the playoffs, everybody. Thanks for watching.